ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर् साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। Hari Om and a very good morning to all of us. So we are doing the Sita Prajna Lakshanas, and we are at that very critical point where we are going to find out what are those things which are not that lead us to heaven but lead us down to hell. Vaikunta 7 steps, to come down also 7 plus 1, 8 steps. So those are the shlokas 62 and 63. They have to be chanted together and understood together, and they are in the second chapter of the Gita. All right, so I'll just share the shlokas and we'll chant, unless Nirmalaji, you want to share something before that? Ani, Papa is inside. Aapko kuch bolna hai?
No Pudin.
Oh, you're lying down, you're not well. I'm so sorry. All right, let's go with this, with the shlokas. Okay. So like as ever, we will chant. All of us will take turns in chanting this, because the words are very rhythmic and beautiful, and they are very famous shlokas, and they're very important as well. Shloka 62, chapter 2, Bhagavadgita. Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshopajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate. Whoever wants to be in silent, doesn't matter. You can keep quiet. The rest of us can chant. Yes.
Can I?
Yep, please.
Dhyayato, sorry.
Yeah.
Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate
Sangat sanjayate kamaha
sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate.
Okay.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते.
Yes.
ध्यायते विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते.
Okay. Indra, Shaila, Anu, Padmaja.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
It is shloka 62 and 63, man.
Correct. 62. We are chanting right now.
Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangateshupajayate sangat sanjayate kamat krodho vijayate
Kamat. Next Hedana, Krodhat. We'll just do this shloka. Okay. Next, Padmaja.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः
Sang.
सङ्गतेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else, or we can go to the next one? Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smruti vibhramaha. Smruti bhramshat buddhi nashaha. Buddhi nashat pranashyati.
Okay. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Hello.
Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti bhramsha.
Smruti bhramshad buddhi nasho.
Smriti bhramshat buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati.
Yes.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
Yes.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
Yes.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
Okay.
Give a try.
Yeah.
Krodha bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhrama smriti bhranshat buddhi nasho buddhi nashat pranashyati.
All right. Okay. So what do the shlokas say? Krodhat bhavati Padmaja, you chant. You have missed it.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
So the first shloka was dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. While contemplating on the objects of the vishaya means objects of the senses. Anything we see, touch, taste, smell, everything are objects. So while contemplating on the objects of the senses, dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. Pumsaha means us. Sangha teshu upajayate means, sangha means attachment. So I develop an attachment towards what I think. Then what happens? Sangat sanjayate kamaha. What emerges? Sanjayate. What emerges out of sangha? Attachment. Kama. Desire. Attachment leads to desire. Kamat krodho bhijayate. And from desire arises anger. And doesn't stop there. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Anger leads to clouding of judgment. Sammoha. You are like, deluded. Sammohat smruti vibhramaha, which results in bewilderment of memory. That means you kind of lose your faculties of viveka. Sammoha smruti vibhramaha, smruti bhramsha buddhinashaha. When memory is bewildered, what is there? The intellect itself gets destroyed. Buddhinashat pranashyati. When the intellect is destroyed, the one is ruined. There is no hope. So these are the 8 things that lead us to our downfall. So all of us are familiar with these emotions, step by step. Only that we might not have given attention to it. Yes or no? Okay, who wants to share their understanding of these shlokas? Let's do it. Padmaja, you want to share if you're free?
Yeah, I'm free today.
Done. Okay.
Okay. So we are doing the 62nd or 63rd now.
I think they are together, but if you have separate things, let us do it. Let us do them one by one. 62.
So 62. 62 says, while contemplating on the objects of the senses, one develops attachment to them. Attachment leads to desire, and from desire
Arises anger.
arises anger. So here, hatred, anger, greed, lust, etc. are considered in the Vedic scriptures as manas rog, or the diseases of the mind.
Mind. Okay.
Since we don't recognize these as mental diseases, we do not try to cure them. We only look at the physical ailments, but not these mental diseases. So once the desire develops, it gives birth to two problems. Either the greed, because when the desire is fulfilled, then you want to go extra. You want something more. So that is greed. Or if the desire is not fulfilled, it gives rise to anger. So knowing desire is the cause of misery, an intelligent person should renounce the desire itself at the root cause. So we see that how the simple act of contemplating the pleasures of sense objects leads to the downward to the twin diseases of greed and anger.
Correct.
So the world is actually not a problem. The problem is due to the attachment to it.
Yep.
The attachment can be to the person, to the object, or to the pleasures from gratification. Cause of desire is not the quality of the object, but our own attachment to it is the cause.
Perfect. Right.
So that's all about 62.
Yes.
You want me to do the 63 also?
No. Let us see what others have to add to this.
Okay.
So have you all experienced this? It all begins very innocuously, very innocently. I'm just putting my mind on something. It need not even be an object which you can hold. It is just even a concept, right? If I start believing in a concept, if I start wanting something, I just see something, a huge hoarding on the freeway or an advertisement or TV, and I have an attachment. I just pay my attention, my focus, my attention goes on something, and immediately the mind catches hold of it, isn't it? And especially the useless things, immediately the mind catches hold of. Is that our experience? Can you all share example?
Yes.
Yeah, carry
Many
on.
such there are many such instances we all go through. Not only it's looking at the hoardings, this can be little things or very big things, because we want to possess it, we want to have it, what others have, what I want. It's kind of part of our life. It becomes, till we understand what's those desires leading us to, and we are never happy with it. We always want more.
Yeah.
And that's what leads us to all of these desires.
Yeah. See, it's not even, it starts with just a thought. It's not even, desire comes later. Just my attention goes somewhere, that focus takes root in me. The cell memory is so strong, no? Especially the sense memories, the smell of good coffee, the taste of a good dish, the touch of a beautiful piece of cloth, the silk or the satin. All these things, they leave such a strong impression. And from just being from a thing in my mind, it becomes my whole being, because the cell has memory. Imagine, just from one thought, my entire body will be throbbing with those sensations. So when I get that aroma of good coffee, the pleasure spreads through my body and it expresses in my speech or whatever. So the main thing is here, where do I keep my attention? It is perfectly fine to, enjoy good coffee, but do I let it consume my whole being to the extent, because Krishna is saying here, dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaha, I get attached to that. So anything else I don't want. I love that coffee from that place. It has got a wonderful aroma. He sources the coffee powder from some exotic place. and the milk that he uses is excellent, from A2 milk or something. So that is the kind of coffee I need. Otherwise, gone. My mental peace is gone. Do I let those things happen to me? And the universe will manifest that for me every time. For example, my own experience, I'm sure all of us, we were planning to buy a car, and what color do I choose, and what brand do I choose? Suddenly one little brand keeps coming in front of my eyes wherever I go. Any road I go, I see a blue car or whatever. So that blue pops up everywhere, and I become kind of convinced that blue is the color to buy. Right? So it is not outside me. Now I understand it's not that it's outside me. Somewhere I have liked that blue color somewhere at some point of time. I've seen an ad and I like the blue car. And so the blue manifests in front of me wherever I see. Yes or no? So dhyayato vision, and without my knowledge, it is just that I was so focused on that blue thing, and the blue pops up everywhere I go. So just one attention does so much damage. Okay, here's a question. Do we all think of ourselves as rational persons? Are we all rational? Who is a rational person? Please put up your hand. Am I very logical, rational? Do I take all decisions very rationally? Look, I'm so bold. I have put up my hand. Huh? Nobody is convinced that I'm rational. You yourself are a rational person. Why? Why?
Only in few cases, man, not all.
Huh? It depends.
Only in few cases.
Few cases rational. Okay. Like what? An example. I mean, I want to know what makes us rational and what makes us irrational.
When we buy objects or something, we might think pros and cons of it. And because we want to make sure everything is right, wrong, and all that stuff. Certain times when it comes to family or friends, we get emotional. That's where we don't apply all rational things over there.
Correct. Right. Is that right? Do we all agree that rationality is not something we exercise all the time? Freud, of course, the great psychologist Freud says, no, 99% of humanity is beneath our rational exterior. Even while buying objects, like you said, Anu, we are extremely rational beings who are driven by the most basic instincts. Apparently, we share 99% of our DNA with a fly. The fly is as low as it gets. So as humans is as high as it gets. What's the 1% difference between a fly and a human? The fly is completely instinct based. A human has that 1% chance, the 1% free will to exercise viveka. But we don't, apparently. We are a seething mass of emotions and bubbling. A subconscious mind is full of emotions, and just the slightest provocation and it pops up. So where do that 1% free will that I have, it's completely under my control. So where do I see nidhi dhyasa? The term nidhi dhyasa itself says nidhi is the treasure. What's the treasure? My attention, my focus, my concentration is the treasure that I have been given as a human being. Dhyasa, where do I place it? Where do I place that treasure, attention? So there are only two things I can place it. Either I can place it on the world or I can place it on God. One drives away the other. Yes or no? They cannot coexist. And I don't know how to wrap my mind around this, but apparently there can just be one thought at a time in my head. I've been told so many times, I don't know how it works because they come so rapidly. We are not able to understand that concept, but apparently I can entertain just one thought in my head at a time. So it's either the thought of the world, the sense objects, or of God, or the sublime things. So most of the time, I think the attention is always on the world, isn't it? Yes or no? So, but the world, God has never promised that the world will give you happiness. Has he ever told anywhere? Nowhere has God said. God says, I will protect you. From what? From myself. From my own stupidities, he will protect me. That's all. Has he ever said the world will give you happiness? He will bless you. Ayuru, Arogya, Aishwarya, Santosha, Abhivruddhi, everything he will bless. But that Santosha is something, Santosha, I have never heard in any blessing that you will get Santosha. Unless you think of me, I will not think of you, is the diktat given by God, isn't it? So, please, everybody also share. And what motivates me is important. What motivates me? Let us all share that insight. What is it that motivates me to get up in the morning? I think in Zen it is called Kai. What's that? There's a term in Zen, no?
Kaizen.
Kaizen. So is there something which motivates me to wake up every morning and do stuff? Do we all have a Kaizen, an overpowering desire that keeps us going, apart from that cup of coffee, which I admit is very, very important for me, or tea? Kaizen. Okay, how? Yeah, please share. Somebody wants to say something. It'll be nice to hear from everyone.
So, well, I try my best to apply the Kaizen in my daily routine.
Okay.
But I can say I end up achieving it 50% of the days in a week, I could say.
It's perfectly fine. But at least you have some overpowering motivation to do. That passion is so important in life, no, Sneha? Even if it's about something, see, when that passion consumes me, it will become godly also. If it's a positive, if it's not a negative, nakaratmak, if it's not nakaratmaka, it is sakaratmaka, which is going to elevate me, elevate my thinking, elevate my my senses, then that is the Kaizen that I need to have, right? So
I'm able to achieve it if I have a single-minded focus about what I have to do first thing in the morning.
Okay.
If I give in to my small desire of just 15 minutes of YouTube, then it's so hard to achieve that the next morning.
Correct. So that motivation has to be so overpowering. That's how all the best innovations in the world are done, no? So Kaizen, who else has got a Kaizen? What is the motivating force? I think in this class, all of us can seriously say, because 7 o'clock we're sitting in a Bhagavadgita class. So all our Kaizens are in the right place. So, and this muscle has to be exercised, strengthened more and more. That's all. At least the day will start off very well, right?
Actually, daily I'll get up very late.
Oh,
so when this class comes, no, I'll prepare in my mind so that I'll get up early, do all my works. Today I got up at 4:30. I did everything, and I'm ready and sitting for the class.
Super.
So I wanted all the days to be like Saturday, so that I can get up at 4:30.
Oh. You can find other things to do. I mean, this is not the only thing, Alva. We'll find things for you so that you can wake up and become fresh. But that's such a wonderful thing you shared, Chandra. Really, it's wonderful. But it's really difficult because Elon Musk, that guy, now everybody knows who he is. He says, if something doesn't motivate you, don't do it. I mean, he's a radical guy. He's a radical thinker. But it is so difficult. If the motivation isn't there, to get up and, like Chandra said, get ready and come to class, then it's not worth it. That's what he says. And so to that extent, we have to be motivated. But of course, small steps, by and by we get a taste for these things. But that motivation is so important. I have a very interesting story about Newton, the great scientist. Yeah, he was a born prodigal scientist, apparently. And as a child, he used to go and play in the gardens, and he used to look for unusual Newton or Darwin, I don't know who is that evolution guy. Darwin.
Evolution is Darwin.
Yeah, and he used to look for. He was at a stage as a child. He was to look at beetles. Okay, all children love to look at fluttery butterflies, beetles, and stuff. But this guy, as a child, he used to look at the differences between two beetles. He used to compare, and he used to study them. And once in a garden, he saw two interesting beetles, three interesting beetles. And so he wanted to study all three, that little guy. And he caught hold of one, and he caught hold of another, and he saw one more. He didn't know what to do. So he didn't want to let that go. So he put one beetle in his mouth, and he caught hold of the other and ran home and put all three in a box. That kind of motivation and interest, pursuing that kind of interest so prodigals have it good. But what about us? We need to exercise those muscles. Motivation, total, like this guy. So that deep desire to do stuff. So it's nice when you get motivated, you automatically do it. When I like to sing, I attend singing. I attend singing classes. I learn to sing, and I attend. It's so easy if you're motivated. It's so beautiful when it's all compartment. That's another thing. The problem with me, I would say, there is no compartmentalization in the head, right? So when I get upset about something, it will filter into the other portions of my life and everything, isn't it? If I'm upset with XYZ, mostly my husband, then I get upset with the child. I get with my parents or parents-in-law. The cooking doesn't come out well. Then the bed will be unmade. Oh my God! I mean, how it can ruin the entire day, right? And I'll goof up at work. I'll goof up in a whole lot of things just because that one upset I have not compartmentalized that feeling. Yes or no?
Or is it detachmenting?
No. Yeah, Vinaya, tell me.
Very true. It happens. It affects the whole.
Yeah, it affects the whole. I mean, how? I mean, logically, it should be separate. Why should if I am upset with my husband, why should I scream at the child? You tell me. How is it logical? But it happens. No? It will flow into. You know what that points to? It points to that we are all one big whole. We cannot compartmentalize like that. This
because,
yeah, Chandra.
Because we cannot show the anger on the certain person, so that we put it on somebody else.
Ade. Why should I show that anger in the first place?
ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ, ಅತ್ತೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೋಪ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಗುನ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊಡಿಯೋದು.
ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ
ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ವಲ್ಲ.
So all of us have done that. How foolish, now that I think back upon it. It is so dumb. All I had to do was pay attention to my anger. I don't do that. I try to throw that anger out on the world. Instead, if I just turn the torchlight of attention on my anger, it will just go. It will subside. I think all of us have to next be aware of if this is true or not. If you focus your attention on something negative, that negativity will go down. Yes or no? Because that awareness itself is divine, right? Awareness comes from the source. Awareness is the source. When you expose it to sunlight, water dries up. Like that. This is my experience. The moment I'm aware that I'm upset about something, the moment I'm aware, instead of concentrating on throwing or repairing that upset by doing 100 useless things, just becoming aware of it will cure the disease, actually, isn't it? And I have to learn. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
You carry on.
No,
You carry.
Okay.
Ma, I think it happens only with the family circle. See, for example, I'm angry with my son. Somebody comes, then I'm not showing any whatever expressions with them. That is only with my family.
I don't think so. I don't agree to what she's saying, because if someone is angry, they can throw it to the world, not just to family. For example, a boss had a fight with the wife, he can come and show it to his subordinates.
Yes.
It is possible.
Yes. You might not show it on the guest, but you will refuse to offer coffee, tea, whatever goodies to the guest because you are angry with the son. Your friend, you take care of him. We can do.
That's where I get.
Don't do that. I am not doing that.
Good, Chandra. I'm happy. Very good. You're rational to that extent. Anu, you were saying something?
Yeah, that's where we can apply a rationality. You just asked right before the class or something.
Yeah.
How do we apply? Right, wrong, we do. Is this right? I carry on this to my office people or coordinates or family members, other family members. If you're like, I'm giving an example. If you have problem with your husband, why would you show it to your kids or to your co-workers or any of us or something?
Yeah.
So we are doing that rational compartmentalizing. That's how it gets carried away with our emotions, because our emotions are not straight and we feel let down for various reasons.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel, sorry.
Yes.
So I feel thing to do is to show the anger on the very person with whom we are angry.
It's better. What you're saying?
It's better than. I think that's what I end up doing many times.
I actually, your voice was breaking. The better thing to do is to show the anger on the person with whom you are angry.
The very person with whom we are angry.
That's better. At least
in my opinion, I think we shouldn't show the anger at all, because the anger will again raise to another anger from that side. You throw an angry ball, they will throw another 2 angry balls. Instead of that, I think it just have to talk and tell. That's all. The way how you put it across is more important.
Right. I piggyback on Padmaja saying that I agree. Sit and talk. Probably there would be some confusion in various conversation or understanding or something. They would have told, we would have understood something. So just clarify the situation and make it easy so that next time that doesn't arise again.
But that's easy for people with a temper, right? With ill-tempered, it's not easy. I mean, the person may be like, for example, I am a classic case of a short-tempered person, but because I'm aware right now, it's kind of easier now than maybe 10 years ago. But I find that it does not percolate with my interactions with others when I express it out immediately.
Okay.
Rather than bottling it up.
We can do it with our dear ones because they'll understand also, actually. Like she said, my husband or my child, she will know, oh, ammange eno salpa mood off agide, and they'll leave it, It's difficult if we carry it over to the society at large. It's very harmful also. So yeah, that's also fine. That's a way of dealing with it. But what we are coming here, but ultimately what we are saying is, yeah, just let me be more aware. So what happens, a little more about this dhyayato vishayan, habitual thinking patterns. We have to be really, really careful about the habitual thinking patterns. They get a hold of us. So I should put my attention on where it's going to elevate me rather than it's going to drag me down. That's the only thing we need to learn from this. So dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaha teshu upajayate. Sangaha, we get an attachment. Sangha sanjayate kamaha. I develop attachment and I need to possess that thing or object or person or I dream about something and I want to possess it. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Kamat krodho vijayate. Because when my desires are not fulfilled, it is immediately turned into frustration and anger. And it does not stop there. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. My whole buddhi, I get deluded. We have heard of fans of these, film heroes or heroines. who do to crazy, they go to crazy lengths to get an autograph or a signature, or they build castles in their own head. See, we have all done that as a child or as a teenager, adolescent. We have all been infatuated with these iconic people, right? Cricketers, sports people, stars, and we develop also an association with them in some manner. But if that goes to crazy lengths, finish. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha. I lose my sense of balance. I cannot see anything else in front of me. I let it consume me completely, and it destroys whatever life I have as I see it, isn't it? So, smriti bhramsha buddhi nashaha. My intellect, my viveka. And when we are angry, we do irrational things. We do unspeakable things, and we say unspeakable things. Yes or no? Really, I mean, the most destructive power in the world, emotion in the world, is anger. Have you all heard that song? Jal se patla kaun hai, kaun bhumi se bhari. Huh? And Agni se tej kya hai? Some Anupam Jalota's one bhajan is there. And he says, Krodh Agn se tej hai. Krodh. Agn se tej is Krodh. What is more fiery than anger? Fiery than fire. Anger. It burns up my whole being, my whole environment. I can vitiate the entire atmosphere with my anger. It is actually very scary, anger. I need to be really, really careful about this all-consuming anger, which makes me say things, do things, which I cannot retrieve also, damaging. So, krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammoha smriti vibhramaha. Have you all heard of this Navy guy, Nanavati case? There was a movie also about him. He was a Navy, extremely disciplined person. These Army, Navy guys are extremely disciplined people. This Navy guy, he came back home once. He was very, very devoted to his wife. They were extremely in love. But once he came back home from a long stint in 6 months of going around the world, and he came back home and saw his wife in the arms of someone else, some other boy, some other man, and he lost it completely. He just whipped out his gun and killed them both. Nanavati case. It is very famous. It's recorded, and there was a movie also with Akshay Kumar starring.
I think he killed.
He killed? He killed them both.
He killed just that. No. He killed just that.
The man.
Yeah.
Okay. He killed just the other guy.
Yeah.
So the best of us, it gets hold of the best of us, is what we are trying to see here. When you get, because that attachment to his wife, or maybe the pride, that she's cheating on me, something, you can just lose it. So these are all the emotions we need to be really, really aware of. That's all. Not that we are going to whip out guns and start killing people, but then it can be it can ruin my everyday little things also. It can be ruined with my anger, and it makes me overstep dharma. Dharma is what? What is dharma? Harmony is dharma. That's all. Simple. Dharma is to maintain harmony in every aspect of life at any point of time. Harmony is dharma. Sun rises and sets, or whatever. Rises and sets also is an illusion. It neither rises nor sets. That's also a concept. But whatever, all that nature, whatever is happening, dharma. So as a human being, my dharma is to maintain harmony in the universe, and fall in step with the universe, with God. That is why that is that 1% of free will that I have, that choice that an exercise is. Am I on the side of God or not? Or am I on the side of dharma or not? That's all I have to do, right? So I should not let myself lose that balance at any point of time. How can I do that? It is when I lose that balance, it takes so much more time to come back to normal, no? To come back to my normal state of mind. I lose days. I mean, it's so sad. All of us have gone through that, I think, especially when we were younger. And if we are young people here and you have not experienced it, thumbs up. Thank you so much. I mean, you have made life for yourself and your dear ones very smooth. But I remember days when I used to be really, really angry with things and, upset the whole atmosphere of the entire family. So now that I know that it's not the right thing to do. So does it all sound very hopeless? So what do we do, guys? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We listen to Krishna. We come to Vedanta class, we come to Bhagavad-gita class, we do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. And I understand that my attention should always be in the right place. Nididhyasa. I put my attention in the right place. And I rewrite the memory of my whole cell memory has to be rewritten. The DNA has to be rewritten. Otherwise, I am going to be born with the same tendencies, the vasanas. They will not let go of me. That is the scariest part. It's not going to leave me anytime soon if I don't leave it now. So transformation is the only answer. That is called yoga. No? All that gyan that Krishna is giving is Brahma Vidya, that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. And he's telling me, if I identify with my mind, body, intellect, what happens? So Yoga Shastra is how I convert that, transform myself by Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, whatever way I can transform myself. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has a beautiful beautiful advice. He says, if you want to be angry with God. If you want to be jealous, be jealous. You express that jealousy to God. See that if you are a bhakta, no, it is much, much simpler, I think. Rationality and bhakti, they don't go together. But if you are a bhakta, it's very good that you can throw all your anger, your emotions, everything. You go sit in front of your God and you tell all those things to your God and be done with it. Don't scream at your husband or your child. Scream at God, is what he says. Okay. So, yeah, more of it in the next class. Anyone wants to wrap up? We'll wrap up for the day. Because we have a silent day meditation in Guruji's house today, and I need to go. One day of silent meditation, Vipassana. Nobody has shared. So many people are very quiet. Kamala said she has to be quiet, so it's okay.
What do they do in silent meditation, Purnima? Like 24 hours, is it? Or how is it? One day, Andre,
One day, 10 to 5. 10 to 5. Oh, we go there and Guruji will give us some instructions. And we just have to, some instruction of watch your breath or do this, do that. And then be quiet. That's all.
And 7 hours.
Silence, no talking and no sleeping.
Uta.
Uta ide.
I thought
light, fruits or something very light. So that, because the heavy tummy makes you feel sleepy, alva. So ella chanairate quiet. See, that sitting with the master is very important. That energy is there. And sitting in a satsang is very important because everyone has come with the same intention. And I should not sleep. If I sleep, he will have some peanuts along with him, Tuck, he'll hit somebody and he'll make us wake up. It's very nice. It's beautiful. And what happens when I sit silently? The mind calms down. That's all. All that I want to think, blah, 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 it'll all bubble up and it'll just kind of, I think it is my experience that in the presence of a master, when those vasanas come out, they just dry up. Really, it is my experience. And if in one sentence he says something, don't do this, I will not do it again. That's the power. That's the power. That's the pure sankalpa is there, the pure sankalpa that all of these people who have come here should be, should get the benefit of my experience. That works. That it is called a satya kama, satya sankalpa. When my sankalpa includes the whole of the universe, that the people, everyone around me, loka hita, it really works, because that is the intention of Dharma of God. So I love, this is once in a month meditation happens in once in a month, one Saturday, and I try not to miss it. It's very nice, and I always come out refreshed. So those
how many are there in that, like approximately satsang?
20 people will be there. 20 people will be there.
It's on Zoom.
Enama?
Zoom on Zoom. People join from
Zoom silent ಆಗಿರಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೇನಮ್ಮ. See, it's all about the satsang and the presence. The presence is very important. That's what I have discovered. It's really, it works. That's why a puja room has got better vibrations. A temple has got beautiful vibrations. Alva. Right? So yeah, that's what I'm doing today.
All the best.
Enjoy yourself. Bring some vibration.
See, that is why we are able to sit here and say a few things. You think it's me, it's not, it's the grace, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Purnimaji, we can also do it for 5 minutes, right? In every class.
5 minutes, anytime. That is the whole point of meditation. Does not have to be 24/7.
Yeah.
You have to do it whenever you find time. Just sit quiet, close your eyes. That is meditation. Just collect all your energies and just focus. Don't even focus, do nothing. That is what I have learned. That works, that is rejuvenates. See, every single moment, if I keep thinking of things, it drives me mad, right? Just keep quiet for 2 minutes.
Earlier we used to think the more you talk, the better. But now it's like, okay, fine. The less you talk, that's the better.
Yes, you are creating lesser ripples in the atmosphere, the less you talk. Really. I mean, that's life experience. I think all of us have understood that.
Saving our own energy.
Saving my own energy. Correct.
Back in when I was in my degree college or something, every month on Trayodashi, 2 Trayodashis, like Jainism, like my house, we have Jainisms and all. So those Jain Munis, they gave me they told me 2 Trayodashis, you have to keep Maundrath. So in a month, 2 days, complete Maundrath. So the day I'm Maundrath, it will be all in signs only for me.
That is also not allowed in Vipassana. No signs. You should not even contact another person by sight, because that is also back only.
Purnima, that can work only in that center, I guess. But in a family or you are in an office, how does it work? It will not work.
You should not even try to do such things. When you're supposed to interact with the world, please interact very clearly, communicate very properly. Don't do sign language. Things will go haywire. So let us not confuse these things. We are going there to rejuvenate and throw away some vasanas or re-energize and come. And
officially then you cannot do all these things. You have to do it in a place where you can do it. That's all.
There is a space and time for everything. There's space and time for everything. When you have, that is why once a month, please make time anta helirodu Gurugulu. Ondina banni pasaku anta. Nitya hogakagala madakku agala. One day you keep aside for that anta ashte. Okay.
Do you find, how long have you been doing this Purnima?
See, before COVID, we used to do it regularly. After COVID, it got a bit disconnect agoytu. Ivaga tirga shuru madidare. Just the second class in this series after post COVID. Just the second Sunday, a second month. So next time when it's announced, I will give you a heads up. You please come if you're free. Chanagirutte nijvaglu. All of us can do this. And let us have that attachment to that thing. Let us put my sangha to that. Silence.
And
sangha with silence.
One more thing, over here they do this Vipassana thing, 3 days session, no phones, nothing, stay in silence, stay in separate, no connection, nothing. Like as you said, limited food, all fruits.
Yeah. Correct. That Vipassana is very, very intense, very, very hard. And if you don't have this background of Vedanta, don't even attempt. But all of us can attempt that Vipassana. I went very early when I had I had an inclination, but I didn't have so much depth. Back in 2003, I had gone for Vipassana for 10 days of silence. And believe me, it was torture. It's really, really difficult. It was terrible. I left my family, children, and gone. And half my attention was there only. What are they doing? Poor fellows. What are they eating? Who is taking care of them? There should be a time and place for everything, really. You should be really, a little mental clutter should be less for you to even attempt silence. Otherwise, when you're too preoccupied also, you cannot be silent. It's very difficult. There has to be a stage in life when you can do such things. So like Kamala said, 5 minutes will do. For just 5 minutes of silence, when amid the chaos also, you can just close your eyes for 5 minutes and get that peace. Otherwise, very busy people, young mothers, no, please don't attempt. It's really difficult. Unless you have got very, very clarity about, what you want. It will be nice.
That's all the very best. I think you should get ready for the class then.
Yeah. To leave in 45 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
All the best.
With the closing prayer.
Closing prayer. Who wants to do the closing prayer? Anyone? Okay.
Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
Thank you all so much. Let's meet next week with
Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
63, 64, 65. Some three shlokas we can take. All right.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
We
you.
had a very nice, we listened to a very nice talk today, Purnima.
Ramamani ji, you liked it? Thank you so much. Thank you, pa. Tumba neevella band kediskondu. You're really so encouraging.
Yeah. I listen, but I cannot talk, but I can listen. Very well.
ಅಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೈಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನಫ್. ಈ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆನೇ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ
ಸರಿ. ಅವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಥಾಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಇವಾಗ ತಾನೇ ವಿ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಫ್.
ಹೌದು. ಸೊ ಚಿಕ್ಕವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೋ ನೈಸ್. ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಯಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬರೀ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ.
ಹೌದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ದೇ ಗೆಟ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬೋತ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಂಟಲಿ.
ಹೌದು.
ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಫೀಲ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್.
ಹೌದಪ್ಪ ದೇವ್ರೇ, ಏನ್ ಸಂಸಾರ ಏನ್ ಈಸಿನಾ? ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೇಕು.
ಓಕೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು 5 hours ಮಾತಾಡದೆ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ?